Thank you. Thank you very much. It is wonderful to be here. I heard people complaining it's cold. I can't believe you would think that. I was just in Vermont. It was 23 degrees below zero. The high for the day. Do you have any idea how cold that is? I get out of my car and I'm thinking, I can't see my breath coming out. Do you know why? There's none going in. I mean, it's so cold. I felt lucky to be alive. So I go to the hotel. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. This is good. I'm in, but I'm safe. But everyone else, they're leaving. They're all going skiing. And they want me to go. They're like, this is Vermont. You got to go skiing. I'm thinking, I've never been skiing, and I'm not going to start in a place called Killington. They have a ski lodge called Killington. I mean, of all the available names, Killington, people get killed skiing. Why would you go to a restaurant if it was named Salmonellas? What if I break my leg? Is there a hospital? Oh yeah, Flatliners. Medical center. They'll take good care of you. But I'm from New York. We complain no matter what. We'll be complaining it's too hot. Give us a week. Because every year we have a heat wave. We always survive, and it's like, see, I don't mind being hot. I just hate being told all day that I'm hot. If you watch the news and the radio, so they always say there's a heat advisory. There's a heat advisory, watch out. But they always tell you how to deal with it, Keep physical activity to a minimum. I'm like, we're Americans. We always keep physical activity to a minimum. Right? How are you going to cut down on your physical activity? I'm only going to go on Facebook half the day because it's hot as heck. I'm only going to post and share a little bit because there's a heat advisory. And then my favorite part is always tell you, check on your infants. I'm like, yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, I never check on my kid if it's like 70. Yeah, my wife used to call, how's the baby? I'm like, I don't know, it's been so unseasonably cool. I forgot we even had one. It's not like there's a heat advisory. Well, I did fly in last night. It was great. I got in, I've landed, I got out of my seat, and I banged my head on the top of the thing. Everybody's done that, right? Except for me. Look at the size of me. It was the best day of my whole life. I've never hit my head on anything. I'm like, did anybody get a picture of that? I wanted this to go viral on Facebook. I want people to see that. Because it's not easy living life small. I'll tell you, it's not. Because if you think, I had a child, we'd go in the delivery room, and you had to go. I asked her. I said to the nurse, I said, when do you put her on the stilts? Right, the stirrups. That's what she said to me. I said, look at me, I'm 5'5". They look like stilts to me, okay? And it's not easy being short. I'll tell you, if you think you're short, I will tell you what short is. Short is when you try to walk into Target and the doors don't open. And you slam into the glass. And now I need Flatliners Medical Center is what I need. So I'm thinking, how do I get in? Because I got a motion sensor that's going right over my head, so I had to wait for a grown-up to come and let me in. I'm like, do I have to sit in the basket too? Where is this going? I don't know how to go with this, but I always think that now we have a financial crisis again. I'm tired of these financial crises, aren't you? And I'm like, wait, because they always raise this debt ceiling, from the government. Raise the debt ceiling because we're broke. And then all of a sudden we're not. I'm like, why is the government why aren't we allowed to do that? I would love to do that. Just spend as much money as I possibly can. And when the credit card company calls me, hey, you owe us a lot of money, I'll be like, oh, don't worry. I'm raising my debt ceiling. Yeah, I have to vote on it, but I think it's going to pass. So I got my bank account hacked, which is like another facet of this whole problem. So if you don't know, you can't use your phone to do your banking anymore. So now I had to go to the bank in person to make a deposit. I walk up to the counter and I give the lady the stuff and she stops me. She says, excuse me, do you have identification? I said, I'm putting money in. Who cares who I am? It's cash. She tells me we're having a lot of problems. I said, with bank deposits? How? Are there money depositing gangs? Do you see them in getaway cars filling out deposit slips? Run into the bank. Here, put this in somebody's account. All of it. I don't know, checking. No, savings. But I know things are crazy, and we all know that. Everything going on these days. And I noticed during the Super Bowl and watching the commercials, they're so afraid of racism now. They're so afraid to offend anyone. They throw a little bit of everybody in every commercial, right? Yeah, it's like a beer commercial, and they got the big screen, they got the snacks, they got the beer, but look on the couch. 6 friends, all in football jerseys, but look closely. They always use a white guy, and a black guy, and an Asian guy, and a Latino guy. And I'm thinking, I have friends of all ethnicities, but I don't have them all over at the same time. One of each. So I'm thinking, what happens if another friend calls? Hey, Tom, can I come over and watch the game? I'd be like, nope, I already got a black guy. Thank you. I could use a Greek Orthodox, has one of those. Okay. Thank you so very much. God bless.
Tom McTiernan. That sounds Irish.
This is how short I am. Look at this. I need a booster chair or something.
We'll get you one.
Yeah.
Okay, clearly that is an Irish name.
Yes, right? Irish. And I see, look at all the...
Yeah, look at all these people dressed up for St. Patrick's Day.
How many of you are really Irish?
I think there's like
it's just St. Patrick's Day. After that, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And the whole thing about St. Patrick's Day is I think it's kind of... I don't know whether they make us. I don't know who St. Patrick is. I don't know what he did. How do we celebrate? I don't know. Make him drink. Don't you think it's a little stereotypical? Don't you think so? Because it's like Italians on Columbus Day, they don't make you whack people all day. Yeah, just one more and I got to go home. But yes, Irish Catholic.
Did you grow up celebrating St. Patrick's Day in your Irish family or anything?
Not really. They didn't. I came from a large family. There's 10 of us. We didn't really celebrate anything.
You're one of 8 kids, right?
10 people in the house. Yeah, everyone. Look at this crowd is stunned. Everyone is looking at me thinking, how can you raise 8 kids properly? You can't.
And that's why you became a comedian.
And my parents had no intention of doing it.
So did you decide at an early age you were going to go into comedy because that way you could make fun of your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, they would. Well, they don't really. They're part of the whole thing. But it's the whole thing is we had 3 bedrooms and we had 10 people. So they didn't know where to put us. One time my mother opened the closet door. She told me, "This is your bedroom." I looked in. I said, "But there's shelves." And she tells me, "No, it's a bunk bed."
Now, you got to do a lot of traveling because, I mean, you don't just get to stay in New York all the time. You travel all over the country constantly. We heard about Vermont, which, boy, you really sold that place. The Chamber wants to give you an award. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, it was cool, but I don't mind. I don't mind flying. I flew in last night. It was good. Let me tell you a funny story that happened recently. I was working in Houston, and the comedy club sent one of the employees to come pick me up, and he couldn't find me. So I know I'm not hard to find, that easy to find. But what happens is, so I'm on the phone with him, I'm trying to describe where I am. I said, I'm at the baggage claim, there's a bee right above me, I don't know what else to tell you. And all of a sudden I noticed standing next to me, remember the basketball player, remember Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right, everybody, right? Standing right next to me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the guy from the club says to me, what do you look like? And I said, well, people tell me I look like Hakeem Olajuwon. And he says, oh my God, you do look like Hakeem Olajuwon.
And he comes over and...
Yeah, and I come over, I said, do I look like a 7-foot Nigerian NBA All-Star player?
When you do these comedy clubs, one of the things I guess you got to put up with, hecklers, people out in the audience who think they're going to take it over and they challenge you. Does that happen to you?
It does. And the funny thing that you mentioned that, because this was just this past weekend, I'm out there and all of a sudden some guy yells up there and he stopped. And I said, that's the first time I've heard anyone want to heckle and just say, I'm sorry, I can't go through with it. I'm sorry, it's back to you. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to say. I said, I've never heard anybody want to heckle and then just say, I'm sorry, I can't go through with it.
And you never knew why? He just
I never knew why, yeah. He was like full forge, ready to go, and then just...
Do you find that your comedy has to change because so many people get offended by everything today, and everybody gets their feelings hurt? Political correctness has changed the way we even laugh, I think. Has that affected you?
Well, you know what you do, at least in my opinion,
Yeah.
is you kind of make fun of what you're saying, not make fun of the fact of it. You know, it's like recently I had gone to the hospital to visit someone, and I found out the person next to me was recovering from gender reassignment.
Okay.
Which, if you don't know what that is, it's yeah, well, yeah, they used to call it a sex change, right? Right? Yes, that's what they used to call it. But I'm thinking, why would they call it that? Because to me, gender reassignment sounds like you had it done, but it wasn't your choice. Like somehow the government's involved. I don't want to be reassigned. Is this Obamacare? What's going on?
I mean, the government is up to some crazy stuff. I don't know if they're doing that or not. They may be. They may be doing it. Would you come back and be with us again sometime?
I would love to come back.
Audience loves you. We're delighted you're here.
Oh, thank you so much.
We need more laughter in the world, and you helped us tonight having some. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you so very much.
Delighted. Now, if you want to see more hilarious stand-up and find out when Tom's going to be performing near you, you can visit him on any of his social media sites. All of them are listed right there on your screen, so take a screenshot of it if you're not a fast writer.